Welcome to today's Get Ready With Me. This is my first Get Ready With Me ever, I think. I am going to my sister's art show today, so it is morning. I just finished silk pressing my hair. I feel like the power could possibly go, so I'm gonna finish doing my hair now, and then we'll continue the video later on when I do my makeup. If I sound like I'm sick, it is because I am. So my hair is silk pressed, it is trimmed. The hair has grown back, like everything I cut off on my last silk press, because I did a blunt cut. I cut off a lot last year, and now it has all grown back. It looks amazing. My silk press is slaying. I'm about to put in some curls and some rollers so I can let them set. Now, this is my first time doing rollers on a silk press in my entire head for the first time ever. So again, this is not a tutorial. I'm just kind of showing you what I did. I used Velcro rollers in the front, and then I used I call them Barbie rollers. They're the ones with the like little clip rollers. So I'm going in with my curling iron again, and this time it is on 365, I think, the third to the hottest. Because my hair is already straight, I don't need it to be that hot. And now I'm going in with my Velcro rollers, and as you see here, when I stick it down, I just stuck it down. But if you're using a Velcro roller like me, I suggest using like a bobby pin or one of those hair clips, duckbill clips, to make sure that they don't move. So I put those couple rollers up there, and then for the sides, by the way, those were the only Velcro rollers I had. So for the sides, I used these other rollers, which I like to call my Barbie rollers, because all my Barbie dolls had rollers like this. You can correct me on what they're called. Clip rollers, I don't know. Um, I think I only had like three of these, maybe four. So I used those up. And then for the rest of the hair, I just did like curls. I just curled the curls around themselves and then clipped them up. Okay, we are back. I'm in my beauty room now. I was gonna film it out there because the aesthetic is better, but all my stuff is in here, so we're just gonna film in here. As you can see, I still have my rollers in. So I will try as my best to say what I'm using, but if I don't say what I'm using, I will link everything I'm using in the description box below. So let's start. It is cold and I have a cold, which means my skin is even drier than usual. So I'm doing a pretty extensive skincare routine. I'm starting with a toner. This is from Decorte, and most Japanese brands call toner lotion. A little bit of a life update. I'm just gonna go through this one very quickly. I know I've barely been posting, and it's because my situation has been hectic. Like, it's been like a roller coaster. I'm using the Advanced Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence by CosRX. Next, one of the major things that's been affecting my posting is what's called load shedding. Now, I know a lot of you that are watching me are not where I am. I'm currently in Zambia. The power has been going every single day, well, most days, for 8 to like 16, sometimes even 24 hours, okay? So that was affecting me because I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna set up my lights. I'm gonna film at 8 in the morning since the power usually goes at 10, so I have 2 hours to film. On the day when I set up, I sit down, I've had my breakfast early, it's 8 o'clock. I start to film, the power goes at 8. The schedule has been crazy. The new Triv Ultimate Diamond Eye Cream. This is from Estee Lauder. They gifted this to me. It is ridiculously expensive, but I absolutely love it, especially when I want to be bougie. So this is what the bottle looks like. It is so aesthetically pleasing. The power schedule has just been crazy, and I was failing to film, and I was just demoralized because I knew that at any moment, it doesn't matter what time it is, what day, I knew that if I start to film, the power could just switch off. And then also when it came to editing, like if the laptop dies, then that's all for the day, and it was just so stressful. So I had to go into my savings and buy an inverter. If I want to keep everything powered, that's usually like a solid 8 hours. But sometimes you never know what day it's going to be that they're going to take the power for 24 hours. Now I'm using the matching moisturizer. I like to keep them in the box because of the way the sun comes in my bathroom. I don't like it to be in direct sunlight. What was happening is sometimes I'm like, oh great, I have the inverter, I can watch everything. Power's only supposed to be gone for 8 hours. Only. That's what they say. Only supposed to be gone for 8 hours. When the power comes back, then everything will be fine. But sometimes the power goes for 15 hours. So then the inverter goes off. I've got no TV, I've got no Wi Fi. Obviously, when the inverter's there, I can't use the stove, so I had to buy a little gas stove. But I can't use the main stove, I can't use the microwave, I can't use the kettle, and I can't use the oven. So if I want to bake something, then I can't do that. So it's still an inconvenience, but at least it's better. So that's why I've been uploading a little bit more. So once I started to get settled, then be like, okay, let's get back into work now. Now I'm going in with this overnight oil from Makeup Revolution. Just when I was starting to get back into everything, my dad got sick. Um, he had a heart condition for a while and it just started to get like a little bit worse. And so that was constantly stressing me out and I felt like I couldn't film. And then I had another uncle who was very sick and we found out he had cancer. While my dad was in hospital, he texted me and told me that my uncle had died, which was like shocking because it was so quick from the moment we found out he had cancer until then. That was insane. Then 2 days later, my dad also died, which is still, I feel like I'm still in a haze. Some days it hits me like you just wake up and you're like, I can't believe what happened. It's gonna be a month in like 2 days. And other days, you're just kind of like in a daze. It's just like a dream. It's just like, oh yeah, he's just gone on a business trip and he'll be back. But it was heart failure. I'm gonna say that now because, and hopefully whoever asks the comments, you can respond to them because I'm not gonna be responding to everyone. I'm the kind of person that doesn't get offended when people ask how someone died, especially if the person was kind of young. I'm sorry, but I'm curious. If you tell me that someone died, I'm gonna be like, what happened? I know people think it's insensitive, but it's like, why are you gonna tell me? If I don't know the person, you've never told me about the person before and I don't know what happened, like just say what happened. Now I'm using this Paula's Choice Hyaluronic Acid Peptide Lip Booster. I don't use this very often because it is ridiculously expensive, but it really gets the job done. Like when your lips are really dry and you need that plumping, this gets the job done. Now I'm doing my eyebrows and I'm doing soap brows because soap just seems to be the only thing that can get my eyebrows together when I need them to really stay. So I'm using this Pears soap that everybody uses and this brush. So that's what's been going on. So I haven't filmed a video. This is the first time I've filmed a video since like a week before my dad got into hospital because every time I'd be like, okay, today's the day. Because, this is my full time job. I don't have another job. So I can't just chill and not do anything. And also, sitting and doing nothing just makes everything worse because you just feel worse. So every time I'd be like, okay, let me try and film. Today's the day. I'd wake up and I'm like, no, I can't. I'm not gonna come here and start crying on camera. So, although I have a cold, today's a better day. At least I can film and I can talk. I'm not a super emotional person and I feel like I think very logically. So I compartmentalize my feelings and, like, okay, put it in a little box, deal with the matter at hand, and then get back to it. I know it's not necessarily a good thing, it's just how I am. Some good days, some bad days. I'll just be trying to film more on the better days. I really want to get more into lifestyle content, which don't worry, I'm not abandoning my hair videos. I will still be posting hair videos and I will be including hair in my lifestyle videos. But like, it gets boring and tiring for you and for me to just sit down every single time and just talk about hair and like how you can grow your hair and how you can, there's only so much you can talk about. And I feel like I enjoy lifestyle content a lot, watching it. So I know I'll enjoy making it as well. And I've been planning to do it for so long, and I think I've been saying I'll do it for so long, but because it's not my usual type of content, and I know it doesn't get as many views, it's like harder for me to do. What kind of content do you want to see from me? Like, do you want more get ready with me's, like my hygiene routine, shower routine? just a regular, like what I do in a day vlog, what I eat in a day, my fitness journey slash weight loss journey, although that's been kind of on a hold. I've been eating whatever I want to make myself feel better. But I have been getting my steps in almost every day. So I want to invest in some wigs, get some better hair. I know I have a wig, but I've had it for so many years. And I want raw hair because I know it lasts longer. But I'm open to other things as well. I'm now using my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. It's in the shade 5.5 Tan Doré. I am not going to do heavy makeup today. Even though it's an evening thing, I think like you can get away with doing heavier makeup in the evening. It just kind of looks better in pictures and stuff too. But because my skin is so dry and my nose is still like a little runny, if I have to blow my nose at any point or like use tissue on my nose, the difference between my skin and my nose will be drastic. I use this like every single time I do my makeup. So now I am going to finish this makeup look with a voiceover only because I don't have that much time, and if I continue talking and explaining everything I'm doing, I am going to ramble on and waste time. So for my pigment, for my base, I'm using my RCMA pigment palette. It is the Shinto series, and this is like it's just a pigment palette. You can use it for concealer, you can use it for foundation. It's professional makeup. It is very thin, pretty good coverage. I'm not using it all over my face. I'm not using foundation. I'm just using it on any of the like areas of my face where I have a little bit of discoloration under my eyes, in between my eyebrows, and around my nose. Then I'm taking those darker colors and I'm using them around the perimeter of my face to just warm it up a little bit so that I don't put like two layers. Although, as you can see, I'm a little bit more tan than I thought. So, yeah, I need to be wearing more of my sunscreen. So I'm blending that in, and I'm using this double-sided brush from e.l.f. I'm using the thicker side or the wider side to blend out the lighter colors and just blend everything together. And then right under the eyes, I'm using the smaller side. And once that's blended in, I'm going in with my Chanel Le Beige bronzer. And this is in the deeper shade. I think it's 395 deep bronze. And I'm using this to bronze up my face. And I'm also using it to like mildly contour, but mostly like a bronze. As you can see, it is a warm tone. I'm taking it down the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, my eyes, my cheekbones, and my jawline. And then I'm using this dense brush to just work it in because this blends very easily. So if you use a fluffy brush, it'll just sort of disappear. So I wanted it to sort of stay where I put it. And I'm using the same brush to just blend it in everywhere. I'm not using any smaller brushes or bigger brushes. I'm using the same one. And as you can see, that's basically the color of my forehead. You can't really tell much of the different tones. And then now to contour, I'm just using this Makeup Revolution concealer in the color C14, I believe. It is nice and cool toned, and you can see I'm using very little. I just put it on the brush and I'm focusing it right on the hollows of my cheeks. This is a good hack for any of the girls that have a face shape like mine. I have a very round face, so that hack really works. And now to brighten up my face a little bit, I'm using my NARS concealer in the color Ginger. I love this color. It's actually coming to an end. I've used this for a really long time. Not the company, just mine. I need to restock, and I'm just using it and putting it on the places where the light naturally hits that I want to bring forward a little bit. And once that's worked in, I'm using that same small end of the double-sided brush to work it in. I get a lot more coverage when I use a brush than using just a sponge. And I usually let it sit for a little bit as well before I blend it out. So as you can see, I'm just blending that out very slowly and I'm focusing it on a very specific area. I'm not like blowing it out to a really big portion of my face. I just want it to stay where I have placed it, and I really like patting this in really nice and good. And maybe you can't tell on camera, but it's not a very thick layer. You can still see my freckles through. At least by the time it sets down, by the end of this video, you'll be able to tell. And now to pat everything in and make sure that there's no lines or unevenness, I'm going in with my Beauty Blender. It's not from the Beauty Blender brand. It's actually from Amazon. It's a brand called Paw Paw. and they are really, really good. Now I'm using this blush from She Glam, and it's not deep enough, so I decided to top up with the one from Tower 28 in the color Beach Please. I really like this tone. It's a really nice, like, reddy kind of sunburned tone. And then under my eyes, I'm using my Laura Mercier setting powder on a powder puff, and I am just patting very little in, and then also on my eyelids to prep my eyes for eyeshadow. Then I'm using this other e.l.f. highlighter brush to just dust everything away. And then for the deeper areas where I bronzed, I'm setting that with my Fenty Beauty powder bronzer in the color Island Ting. Then to set the blush, I'm going in with my Makeup Revolution blush palette, and I'm using that orangey color with the pink mauve color to set my blush. And as you can see, everything is blended really well together. I usually put a little bit more blush than I need to, not because I have blush blindness, but because blush is the first thing to fade. And I was going to be leaving in like an hour or two by the time we got to the event, so I knew it was going to fade by the time I get there. For my eyes, I'm taking a little bit of a deeper shade than I usually do, just because it's an evening thing and deeper colors just look better at night. So I use the darker color on my lid, and then I use the slightly lighter color to blend it out and just blow it out a bit. And then those two darker colors I'm using as a soft eyeshadow wing instead of using a liquid liner, and I use the same colors on my waterline. Now it is time to curl my lashes, and I'm using my Kevin Aquan lash curler with my Makeup Revolution mascara. I really like this mascara, and I've had it for a while. I've been using it for a while. I'm not doing any false lashes just because I don't like to do false lashes all the time. And those same darker colors I used to make my wing is what I'm using to fill in my brows. As you can see, I do have naturally thick brows, but they are a little sparse. And then for my highlighter, I'm using this Dior palette, and I'm only using that light gold shade there just to bring a little bit of life to my face. I love highlighter. I'll never get sick of it. And this one is so worth it. I've had it like for 2 or 3 years, and there's barely a dent. Then to bring everything together, my blush, my highlighter, my bronzer, I like to use this Milani Sun-Kissed bronzer. And then to set my entire face, I'm going in with my Makeup Revolution setting spray just so everything is nice and soft. And as you can see, I'm covering my hair because I don't want it to revert. And once that's dry, it's time to do the lips, and I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in the color Foxy Brown. I'm lining my lips and then also just filling in the corners a little bit. And then for my actual lipstick, I'm also using a lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. I believe it's in the shade Pillow Talk 2. It's a nice little mini. I actually want a full size. This is such a pretty color. And I just put that all over my lips, and my makeup look is done. It is now time to take down my rollers. I just took all the clips down first, and then after the clips were taken down, I started to take down the rollers, and as you can see, the bounce is so perfect. I love how it came out. I will not be using Velcro rollers again just because they're a little bit too sticky. I think they cause a lot of split ends. I will stick to my Barbie rollers moving forward. But as you can see, the volume, the hair came out exactly how I wanted it. To finish this off, I am now using, no one's gonna be surprised if you're not new to this channel, I have to finish up my hair with my Kerastase Elixir Ultime. I'm not even gonna do a full pump, honestly. I'm gonna do about that much. And I'll really rub it between my palms, work it between my fingers. We want an even distribution. We don't want any heavy spots in the hair. So you can see, just makes my hands look shiny. And just gonna go through. This will add just a little extra shine that the hair needs. I'm gonna shake the roots a little bit. I really wanted like the 90s blowout look, and I think I'm achieving it. I mean, and now for my outfit, I wore these pumps from Steve Madden. My dress is from Guess, and that is what it looks like from the side. I really like this outfit. It makes me feel very my age. And that's what my hair looked like from the back. And then time for my favorite perfume. This is from KLE in the in the scent Vanilla 28. And I just sprayed that on my wrists and all my pressure points. For these earrings, I got them from Amazon and I absolutely love these earrings. I've really got use out of them. They're really, really good. And once my earrings were on, I was actually off to the event with my sister. Not the artist, the other one. Oh.
Spin. Oh wait, Angie. Okay, tell me this is in bullshit. The bums are bumming. I love it. I know what? My heart.